Good evening, everyone. My name is Joe Groff, and I am the General Manager of Studio Acting Conservatory, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to tonight's final scenes for comedy. This class is extraordinary. The group of students that you're seeing tonight are some of the most talented individuals and some of the most supportive. So I'm glad you all are here to support their final scenes. We have our final scenes going from now until January 26th. That will include all the classes of our 3-year curriculum, including Character and Emotion, Shakespeare 1, Greek Tragedy, and tonight, of course, is comedy, and ending with our directing classes. So please be sure to tune in. And if you're interested, our spring semester will begin February 8th, and we'll have classes in beginning acting technique, movement and voice, Alexander, improvisation, and our Young Actors Ensemble, which is for ages 10 to 17. So please join us for those classes. There's links in the description below to our schedule, and you can see the courses and tuition. And you're welcome to call the office to speak to Anderson Wells or myself at 202-232-0714. And if you are able to and would like to support the conservatory, there's also a link in the description box to make a tax-deductible donation. Now, enough about me. It's my pleasure to welcome and introduce our teacher for comedy, Carol Arthur.
Thank you, Joe, very, very much. And welcome. My name, as he mentioned, is Carol Arthur. I'm the proud teacher of this advanced class in comedy, the final class in Studio Acting Conservatory's core curriculum. Every student you see tonight took principles of realism, character, and emotion to get a strong, realistic base. Then we threw them into classical work. They took Shakespeare, then they took Greek, and then they took all that they learned in all of those classes, buckled up, or maybe unbuckled, and came into comedy back in September, and on Zoom from the beginning. We did, in the early part of the semester, the opening weeks, we did comedy exercises, solo work, duo work, group work in physical and vocal techniques, clowning, and everything that you would need for acting for comedy and comedic technique. Then we headed into scene work. And I'm going to show you what you're going to see tonight because they don't have 1, 2, or 3 scenes. They have 4 scenes, and one person has 5. Thank you, Wendy. They are working in multiple styles of comedy. A lot of you watching tonight have taken this class. You're going to get some flashbacks right now. We are going to see 4 modern scenes. Then we will see 4 wit and manner scenes. 3 of them are from The Importance of Being Earnest. And you will notice Jack here is listed twice. That is the same character played by 2 different students, but it's the same character in terms of the flow of the play. Then we will see Shakespeare and Moliere. The students have the option to do a classical version or a contemporary version. We will see examples of both in that section tonight. Then, last but not least, as we travel back through time, as you can see, we start with modern, and then we head earlier in time and further back until we get to the origins of comedy and commedia. That is a commedia dell'arte ensemble piece that everyone is in, and they created it themselves. I have no idea what the content is. I did a little lecture on commedia. I gave them some reading, gave them a little guidance, and they spent all weekend, comedy weekend, preparing and creating it themselves. So I will be just as surprised as you are when we get around to it. Speaking of which, the whole evening should take about 2 hours. And please stay for the whole thing. They've worked so hard and so well, and I'm just really, really proud of them. And I want to echo what Joe said about the dedication of this group. They've been with us through thick and thin, and now we're going to just have a lot of fun. It's really going to be a fun night, you guys. Thanks again for joining us. One of the issues with Zoom is that we might not hear you laugh, but we will feel it, I promise you. And please use the YouTube comments if you have the login that lets you post in there. It was so great last spring semester to go back and see the YouTube comments that came up for that comedy class. You can laugh in the comments. And you can, those of you that have taken this class can make very specific compliments. I will expect to see those. So without further ado, I'm going to turn you over to a truly superb ensemble. Thank you so much. I'll see you on the other side.
It's not easy to find a guy you can really connect with when sober. I've tried everything, Mom. Speed dating, going to singles events, volunteering for charities that attract single people, even farmers only. No, my friend Sally set me up. Yes, the married one. She didn't say much about him, but she said he's nice, he's friendly, and he's never been in rehab. She said his name is Jan or something. I think he's Swedish. He hasn't logged into the Zoom yet, though. Oh, that must be him. I gotta go. Did you get the picture I texted? Is my outfit too revealing? Not revealing enough. Okay. All right, wish me luck. Love you, Mom. Bye. Okay. Coming. No! He's not Swedish! Just give me a second. From you? You must be Jan?
Son!
Hi, Ben. I'm Lori. Flowers. How thoughtful. Neat. What a nice cut. Look, I'm not really feeling that well. I've got a terrible headache and a stomach ache and probably COVID. I'm afraid tonight isn't going to work out. Well, yes, the flowers are nice. And the meat looks very tender. You killed it yourself? Just for me? How thoughtful. But, well, I'm really not feeling well. Sorry. Gee, I hardly ever meet a guy who's willing to show his feelings. Okay, how about just a short chat? So, Sally didn't tell me much about you. What do you do? You kill meat? Oh, you also forage for nuts and berries? How fascinating. It's a living, huh? You want to know about me? How nice of you to ask. I'm a sales representative with a leading pharmaceutical company specializing in... Do I kill meat? No, I'm vegan. That means I don't eat meat. So, what do you like to do on a normal in-person date? Dinner? Dancing! I love to dance. Let me tell you where I'm coming from,
Son!
Fun. Listen, you seem very nice, and your outfit is very retro. But I'm just not into dating for dating's sake anymore. I think I'm finally ready for something substantial. I'm sure you're very substantial, but well, I may want to start a family soon, and I'm looking for someone who could be a provider, but who's still sensitive and who isn't afraid of intimacy. Emotional intimacy. What are you doing? A poem? The world is crazy? We're standing on the edge of journal? Piss? We are standing on the edge of an piss. Abyss! We are standing on the edge of an abyss. But I see you and you are a Coke bottle. You have a nice figure. You're beautiful. But I see you and you're beautiful. My heart is filled with things on the ground. Sticks. Rubbing sticks. Building a fire. I bet you're good at that.
Son!
Oh, you burned your finger. You have a blister? My heart is filled with blisters. My heart is filled with blisters? My heart is filled with bliss. My heart is filled with bliss. That was adorable. Who wrote it? You did. Wow. When? When you were at work? You know, you're a lot of fun.
Son!
Fun, sorry. You know, when you were reciting your poem just now, I felt a real connection between us. Can we take our time on that? Oh, well, okay. Can we cut the growl? You really are very sweet. Stop it! You're just like all of the others. You're insensitive and selfish and you're... What about me?
Ding ding! was the other half of the and the other
Oh, well, if that's how you feel, you can just go.
Mama.
No, you don't have to.
Mama.
Look, Thong,
Son.
son, it's, dating sucks.
Meh.
And blind dates, well, I don't know how you feel, but I just think they're impossible. Especially on Zoom.
Meh.
I'm sorry if I ruined your evening.
Meh. Mama.
I guess it was 50-50. 60-40? Oh, you.
Oh, rawr. Yeah.
All right. How much longer is this going to go on?
You talking to me?
That's right, I'm talking to you.
What is it that you want to know?
I want to know if you're going to spend the rest of your life not talking to me. Because if you are, I'm going to buy an Xbox. Well, I see. You're not going to talk to me. All right. Two can play at that game. If you're not going to talk to me, I'm not going to talk to you. I can act childish too, you know. I can go on without talking just as long as you can.
Then why don't you shut the hell up?
Are you talking to me?
You had your chance to talk last night when I begged you to go upstairs with me to those beautiful English sisters' apartment. From now on, I never want to hear another word from that shampooed head of yours as long as you live. And that's a warning, Felix.
I stand warned. Over and out.
Here's a key to the back door. Stick to the hallways in your room and you won't get hurt.
I don't think I gathered the entire meaning of that remark.
Then I'll explain it to you. Stay out of my way.
I think you're serious. I think you're really serious. Are you serious?
This is my apartment, and everything in my apartment belongs to me. The only thing that belongs to you is you. Now stick to the hallways in your room, and you won't get hurt. Just speak softly.
Yeah. You're serious. Well, let me remind you that I pay half the rent, and I'll go into any room I want.
Hey, where you going?
I'm gonna walk around your bedroom.
Stay out of there.
Don't tell me where to go. I pay $1,200 a month.
That was off season. Starting tomorrow, the rate is $200 per day.
All right. There you are. I'm paid up for today. Now I'm gonna walk around your bedroom.
Hey, stay out of there. Stay out of my room.
Watch yourself. Just watch yourself, Oscar.
I am warning you, Felix. If you want to live here, I don't want to see you. I don't want to hear you. And I don't want to smell your cooking. Now get this spaghetti off my poker table. What's so funny?
It's not spaghetti. It's linguine.
Now it's garbage.
You are crazy. I'm a neurotic nut, but you are crazy.
I'm crazy? That's really funny coming from a loser like you.
I'm not cleaning it up.
Promise?
Did you hear what I said? I'm not cleaning it up. It's your mess. Look at it. Lying all over the floor.
I like it.
You just let it lie there, wouldn't you? Until it turned all hard and brown and... Yick! I'm cleaning it up!
Don't you touch it! If you put one hand on that linguine, I'm gonna punch you in your sinuses!
Oscar, I'd like you to take a teaspoon of Pepto-Bismol.
Go to your room!
All right. Let's everyone just settle down, huh?
I am warning you. If you want to live through the night, you better tie me up and lock your doors and your windows.
All right, Oscar. I'd like to know what's happened.
What's happened?
That's right. Something must have caused you to go off the deep end like this. What is it? Something I said? Something I did? Huh? What?
It's nothing you said. It's nothing you did. It's you.
Well, that's plain enough.
I can make it plainer, but I don't want to hurt you.
What is it? The cooking? The cleaning? The crying?
Oh, I'll tell you exactly what it is. It's the cooking and the cleaning and the crying. It's the talking in your sleep at night. It's the moose calls that opens your ears at 2 a.m.
Oh!
I'm cracking up here. Everything you do irritates me. And the things that I know you're going to do when you return irritates me. I told you 100 times I don't like little notes on my pillow. We're out of cornflakes. F you. It took me 3 hours to figure out F you meant Felix Ungard. It's not your fault. It's just a bad combination.
I get the picture.
That's just the frame. The picture, I haven't even begun painting yet. I have a typewritten list in my office of the 10 most irritating things that drive me berserk. But last night was the topper. It was the everlasting Lulu of all time.
What are you talking about? The London Royal?
No, I'm not talking about the London broil. I'm talking about those 2 lamb chops. I had it all set up with that Betty Boop and her sister and wound up drinking tea and talking about your life story all night.
Oh, so that's what's bothering you. That I loused up your evening.
After the mood you put them in, I'm surprised they didn't walk to the Rockaway and swim back to England.
Don't blame me. I warned you not to make the date in the first place.
Don't point your finger unless you intend on using it.
All right, Oscar, get off my back! Get off! Off!
What is this? A display of temper? I haven't seen you this real angry since the day I dropped my cigar in your pancake batter.
You're asking me to hear something I don't want to say. But if I say it, I think you better hear it.
If you've got something on your chest, you should get it off.
All right. I warned you. You're a wonderful guy, Oscar. You've done everything for me. If it weren't for you, I don't know what would have happened to me. You took me in here and gave me a place to live and a place to live for. I'll never forget you for that. You're tops with me, Oscar.
If I've just been told off, I think I missed it.
It's coming now. And you're also one of the biggest slobs in the world.
I see.
And completely irresponsible.
Finished?
Undependable.
Is that all?
And unreliable.
Keep going, you're getting hot.
That's it. I'm finished. Now you've been told off. How do you like that?
Now I'm gonna tell you off. I've lived in this apartment for 6 months, all alone in 8 rooms. I was ejected, despondent, and disgusted. And then you moved in, my closest and dearest friend. And after 3 weeks of close personal contact, I think I'm gonna have a nervous breakdown. I got it. Do me a favor. Move into the kitchen. Live with your pots, your pans, your ladles, your meat thermometers. And when you come out, just ring the bell and I'll run into my bedroom. I'm asking you nicely, Felix. As a friend, stay out of my way.
The floors are wet.
Felix!
I don't know. I just don't know.
Wyatt, please. I am trying to concentrate.
Okay, so what have you got?
Me?
Yeah, have you hit anything? Let's hear it.
King drama, Englewarp carcinoma. That's as far as I got.
I like the...
Yeah, kind of onomatopoeic.
I don't know. Feels to me like I need some punching up.
Well, you can always throw in a few jokes later on. You gotta get a through line first.
But do you think it's Hamlet?
Don't ask me, I'm just a chimp.
They could have given us a clue or something.
Yeah, or a story conference.
But that'll defeat the whole purpose of the experiment.
I know. 3 monkeys typing into infinity will sooner or later produce a Hamlet.
Right.
Completely by chance.
And Dr. David Rosenbaum up in that booth is going to prove it.
But what is Hamlet?
I don't know.
What is Hamlet?
I don't know.
You know, this is really stupid.
Have you got something better to do in this cage? The sooner we produce the goddamn thing, the sooner we get out.
Sort of publisher parrot with a twist.
But what do we owe this Rosenbaum? You know, a guy who stands outside those bars and tells people, that one's Kafka, that one's Swift, and that one's Milton, just to get a laugh.
What's a Kafka anyway? Why am I a Kafka?
Search me.
What's a Kafka?
All his four-eyed friends sure think it's a stitch.
And how are we supposed to write Hamlet if we don't even know what it is?
Okay. So the chances are a little slim.
Yeah, and this from a guy who's supposed to be smart. This from a guy at Columbia University.
The way I see it, there is a providence that oversees our pages. Rough draft them how we may.
But how about you, Milton? What have you got?
Let's see. Of man's first disobedience and the fruit of that forbidden tree whose mortal taste brought death into the...
Hey, that's good. It's got rhythm. It really sings.
Yeah!
But do you think it's Shakespeare?
Who cares? got a real voice there.
Does Dr. Rosenbaum care about voice? Does he care about anybody's individual creativity?
Let's look at this from Rosenbaum's point of view.
No! He brings us in here to produce copy. All he wants is a clean draft of somebody else's stuff. We're getting peanuts here to be somebody's hack.
Writing is a mug's game anyway, Swifty.
Well, it hath made me mad.
Why not just buckle down and get the project over with? Set up a schedule for yourself. Type for a couple of hours in the morning and then take a break. Let the old juices flow. Do a couple more hours in the afternoon and then retire for a shot of papaya and some masturbation. What's the big deal?
No, if this Rosenbaum was worth anything, we'd be working on MacBooks, not these antiques. He's lucky he could find 3 who type this good, and then he treats us like those misfits at the Bronx Zoo. I mean, a tire swing. What does he take us for?
I like the tire swing. I think it's a really nice touch. And he got us these really nice clothes.
I can't work under these conditions. No wonder I'm producing garbage.
How does the rest of yours go, Milton?
What?
Yeah, read us some more.
Whose mortal taste brought death into the Blamagam, Bed Socks, Knockwurst, Tinkerbell. What do you think?
Blamagram is good.
I don't know.
What's the matter? Is it the tone? I knew this was a stretch for me.
I'm just sure it has the same expressive intensity and pungent lyricism as the first part.
Well, sure. It needs rewriting. What doesn't? It's just a rough draft. How are you doing, Franz? What have you got?
Well, KKK, 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 KKK.
What is that? Postmodernism?
20 lines of that?
At least it'll fuck up his data.
20 lines of that and I went dry. I got blocked. I felt like I was repeating myself.
Do you think that's in Hamlet?
I don't know what I'm doing here in the first place. I'm not a writer. I'm a monkey. I'm supposed to be swinging on branches and digging up ants, not sitting under fluorescent lights 10 hours a day.
It sure is a long way home to the gardens of sweet Africa, where lawns and level downs and flocks grazing the tender herb were sweetly interposed.
Paradise, wasn't it?
Lost.
Lost.
I'm trying to add some of that to this new piece here, but it all hits pretty close to the bone.
Just because they can keep us locked up, they think they're more powerful than we are.
They are more powerful than we are.
Just because they control the means of production, they think they can suppress the workers.
Things are how they are. What are you going to do?
Hey, you were always so goddamn ready to justify the ways of Rosenbaum to the apes.
You have a key to your cage?
No,
You have an independent food source.
no.
So, call me a collaborator. I happen to be a professional. If Rosenbaum wants Hamlet, I'll give it a shot. Just don't forget, we're not astrophysicists, we're not brain surgeons, we're chimps. And for apes in captivity, this is not a bad gig.
What's really frightening is if we stick around this cage long enough, we're gonna evolve into Rosenbaum.
Evolve into Rosenbaum?
Oh, brush up on your Darwin, baby. We're more than kin and less than kind.
Anybody got some Coke?
I'm all out.
Don't look at me. I'm not gonna satisfy those wires with the old coked up chimp act. No, thank you.
Don't be a sap, Swifty. You gotta use the system. Use,
What do you mean?
Watch me while I put my antic disposition on. See what I mean? Colombian too. My fave.
They should have thrown in a pumpkin spice latte for that performance.
It got results, didn't it?
Oh, sure. You do your bonzo routine and get a bump out of it. Totaled a typewriter last week and got a whole 8-ball.
The trouble was, you didn't use it, you took a crap on it.
It was a political statement.
Well, you made your statement and I got my Coke. All's well that ends well, right?
The only way we know they're watching.
Huh?
We perform, we destroy typewriters, we type another page, and some Coke appears. At least it's a sign that someone out there is paying attention.
Our resident philosopher.
But what if one of us actually does produce Hamlet? I mean, here we are set down to prove the inadvertent virtues of randomness and to produce something we wouldn't even recognize if it passed right through our hands. But what if one of us actually does it?
Will we really be released?
Will they give us the keys to the city and a ticker tape parade?
Or will they move us on to Ulysses? Why did they pick Hamlet in the first place? What is Hamlet? Or they to Hamlet that we should care? Oh, boy, there's the respect that makes calamity of so long life. For who would bear the whips and scorns of time? The oppressor's wrong, the proud man's contumely, the pangs of despised love, the law's delay!
Hey, Swifty. Relax, will ya?
Have a banana.
I wish we could get Rosenbaum in here and see how he does at producing Hamlet. That's it. What? That's it. Forget about this random Hamlet crap. What about revenge?
Revenge on Rosenbaum?
Sure. Who else? Hasn't he bereft us of our homes and families? Hasn't he stepped in between us and our expectations?
How would we do it?
Easy. We'll lure him in here to look at our typewriters, to test them out like something's wrong. But we poison the typewriter keys.
Oh, Jesus.
Sure, some jerks of two skirts of Nabona spread liberally over the keyboard. Ought to work like a charm. Plus, I challenge him to a duel.
Brilliant.
Can't you see it? In the course of combat, I casually grazed my rapier over the poisoned typewriter keys, and ha! A hit! A palpable hit! For reserve, we lay by. Some venomous fulfillment. We put the pellet with the poison in the vessel with the vessel.
Listen, I gotta get back to work. The man's gonna want his pages.
It's not a bad idea, but
What's the matter with you guys? I'm onto something here.
I think it's hopeless, Swifty.
But this is the goods.
Where was I? Bed socks, Knockwurst, Tinkerbell.
The readiness is all, I guess.
Damn straight. Just let me know when the K button gives out, honey.
Okay. You two serfs go back to work then. And I'll do all the thinking around here. Swifty. Revenge!
Tinkerbell, Stuckle Swans, Hemorrhoid. That is good. That is good. Stuckle Swans.
Act 1, Scene 1, Elsnore Castle, Denmark.
Hemorrhoid.
Enter Bernardo and Francisco.
Pomegranate.
Bernardo says, who's that?
Bazooka.
breakout room. So I didn't know if I should come to the main Zoom or if I should wait. I'll come back in a few minutes.
Wait, do you have an audition code?
Oh, yeah, sure. I wouldn't lose this. I had to get up at 6 a.m. to log in, and I still barely got a slot. Some girl offered me $200 for this code just for the chance to audition. It was like battling it out online for Hamilton tickets or something.
Can I see it, please?
Oh, sure. I must say, it is such an honor to meet you, Miss Stewart. I have heard great things about your theater.
Well, thank you. The code?
Oh, sure. Sorry. I'm just a little nervous.
Oh, that's all right. I understand. There.
Timmy Chalamet says hello.
Really?
Yeah, he's doing great. He just booked this.
Do you have your headshot and resume?
Oh, of course. Of course. Right here. Okay.
No, I need your headshot.
Yeah.
Is something funny?
I don't understand.
I need your headshot.
Oh, this is my headshot.
No.
Oh, yeah, that's me.
Really? Must have gained a few pounds since this was taken, haven't you?
I beg your pardon?
What role are you interested in?
Oh, Della.
Really? Della? The young ingenue?
Yeah?
Okay, why not? What piece are you doing?
Oh, today I will be doing...
Can you back up a little, please?
Oh, sure. Sorry. Good morning. My name is Elizabeth Ryan, and today I will be doing...
Just do the monologue.
Oh, right. Up, down, up, down, up.
You only have 2 minutes, you know.
Oh, yes. Oh, we would get into terrible arguments, my mother and I.
Do I have something on my face?
Pardon?
Why are you looking at me?
Oh, is it okay if I direct my piece to you?
What do you think?
Oh, okay. Okay. Once, when I was 12 or 13, I told her that God was a moronic fairy tale. I must have spent an entire night just...
Do you have anything else?
Excuse me?
Do you have another monologue? Anything? I've heard that twice today.
Really?
Yes, and I was glad Agnes killed the baby.
Oh, I'm sorry. If you'd like to give me some direction with it, I'd be happy to.
This is not an acting class, Elizabeth. Besides, what you need is an interpretation class. Agnes of God is not a melodrama.
Oh, of course not. I wasn't trying to...
Don't make excuses. Just do something else.
Oh, I don't have anything else prepared. I thought that piece was appropriate.
Actors do not think, Beth. They act. Those who think, think. Those who act, act. Those who think they can act spend more time thinking than acting.
Oh, of course. Can I please try again?
No. Tell me a story. Something funny.
Funny?
Yes. Make me laugh.
Just like that?
You want this role, don't you? You want to play Della?
Of course.
Then make me laugh. Are you an actress or aren't you?
Okay. Let's see. When I was a young girl, my friend Carol and I found this old doll's house in her attic. So we sneaked it carefully downstairs and cleaned it off. Well, Carol had this pet mouse, Binky. So we dressed Binky up in this white Barbie dress and placed him inside the dollhouse. And he crawled right into the miniature bathroom like he wanted to take a bath.
Add a southern accent.
And then he got stuck in the miniature hall closet, and we had to shake the dollhouse up and down. And then Binky popped out, but he was all hyper, and we couldn't catch him, so he ran downstairs. And Kara's mom was having this big ritzy dinner party, and Binky ran straight at.
Let's see a little Spanish.
La grande jefe de mi madre, pero cuando la señorita jefe.
Well, no. I don't want Spanish dialogue. I meant a Spanish accent. Comprende?
Ooh, I can't do a Spanish accent.
Ugh. Then at least show me you have some energy. Act the story out.
Ooh. Then Carol's mother's boss screamed, leaped up on the couch, and pulled up her dress. Well, she wasn't wearing any underwear.
Faster!
Then Carol's mother's boss's husband tried to grab her, but instead he knocked her off right into the double salsa dip.
Faster!
And Binky got scared and ran out into the front yard, and the whole party ran out to look for him, except for Carol's mother's boss's husband and Carol's mother's boss, who was crying, but not because of the double salsa dip or even the flashing incident.
No words.
Pardon?
No words.
Squeak, squeak, squeak! Meow, meow, meow.
Couldn't come up with anything funny, huh?
Why are you being so rude to me?
Rude? Am I being rude? I'm sorry, Elizabeth. Please continue with your quaint little rodent story.
I don't want to. I'm leaving.
Oh, leaving? Are you sure? You still have a few seconds left.
If you didn't think I was right for the role, you should have just said so.
Right. You're perfect. I just wanted to make sure you could handle all the terrible things that Della must endure.
Really?
Sure.
And?
There's no doubt in my mind that you think you would be perfect for this role. Oh, I don't think I've ever met another actress quite like you.
Oh, thank you.
But out of fairness, I have to finish out the day. I'll call you tomorrow. Mind you, it will be late between midnight and 4 a.m. If you don't pick up after the first ring, I'll offer Della to someone else.
Don't worry. I won't sleep a wink.
Good. Run along now.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
Oh, no, thank you.
Hi, hello. Sorry I'm late.
Sorry. I'm a little early.
No, that's okay. Do you have an audition code?
Yes. Here you go. Oh, I must say, it's a pleasure to meet you, Miss Stewart. I've heard great things about your theater.
Well, thank you. We try. What piece are you doing?
A short selection from Agnes of God?
Well, in that case, you better take a few steps back.
Oh, of course. Good morning. My name is Emma Wins.
Wait. What role would you like to be considered for, Emma?
Della.
How are you, my dear Ernest? What brings you up to town?
Oh, pleasure, pleasure. What else should bring one anywhere? Eating as usual, I see, Algy.
I believe it is customary in good society to take some slight refreshment at 5 o'clock. Where have you been since Thursday?
In the country.
What on earth do you do there?
When one is in town, one amuses oneself. When one is in the country, one amuses other people. It is excessively boring. Hello. Why so many cups? Why cucumber sandwiches? Why such reckless extravagance in one so young? Who is coming to tea?
Oh, merely Aunt Augusta and Gwendolen.
How perfectly delightful.
Yes, that is all very well, but I am afraid Aunt Augusta won't quite approve of your being here.
May I ask why?
My dear fellow, the way you flirt with Gwendolen is perfectly disgraceful. It is almost as bad as the way Gwendolen flirts with you.
I am in love with Gwendolen. I came up to town expressly to propose to her.
I thought you had come up for pleasure. I call that business.
How utterly unromantic you are.
I really don't see anything romantic in proposing. The very essence of romance is uncertainty. If ever I get married, I'll certainly try to forget the fact.
I have no doubt about that, dear Algy. The divorce court was specially invented for people whose memories are so curiously constituted.
There is no use speculating on that subject. Divorces are made in heaven. Please don't touch the cucumber sandwiches. They are specially ordered for Aunt Augusta.
Well, you have been eating them all the time.
That is quite a different matter. She is my aunt. Here, have some bread and butter. The bread and butter is for Gwendolen. Gwendolen is devoted to bread and butter.
And very good bread and butter it is, too.
My dear fellow, you need not eat as if you were going to eat it all. You behave as if you were married to her already. You are not married to her already, and I don't think you ever will be.
Why on earth do you say that?
Well, I don't give my consent.
Your consent?
My dear fellow, Gwendolen is my first cousin, and before I allow you to marry her, you will have to clear up the whole question of Cecily.
Cecily? What on earth do you mean? What do you mean, Algy, by Cecily? I don't know anyone of the name of Cecily.
Lane brought me this cigarette case that you left in the smoking room the last time you dined here.
Do you mean to say you've had my cigarette case all this time? I wish to goodness you would have told me. I was writing frantic letters to Scotland Yard about it. I was very nearly offering a large reward.
Well, I wish you would offer one. I happen to be more than usually hard up.
Well, there's no point in offering a large reward now that the thing is found.
I think that is rather mean of you, Ernest, I must say. However, it makes no matter, for now that I look at the inscription inside, I find that the thing isn't yours after all.
Of course it's mine.
But this cigarette case is a present from someone of the name of Cecily, and you said you didn't know anyone of that name.
Well, if you want to know, Cecily happens to be my aunt.
Your aunt?
Yes. Charming old lady, too. Lives at Tunbridge Wells. Just give it back to me, Algy.
From little Cecily, with her fondest love, to her dear Uncle Jack. But why an aunt should call her own nephew or uncle, I can't quite make out. Besides, your name isn't Jack at all, it is Ernest.
It isn't Ernest, it's Jack.
You have always told me it was Ernest. I have introduced you to everyone as Ernest. You answer to the name of Ernest. You look as if your name is Ernest. You are the most earnest-looking person I ever saw in my life. It is perfectly absurd you're saying your name isn't Ernest. It's on your cards.
Well, my name is Ernest in town and Jack in the country, and the cigarette case was given to me in the country.
Yes, but that does not account for the fact that your small Aunt Cecily, who lives at Tunbridge Wells, calls you her dear uncle. Now, go on. Tell me the whole thing. I may mention that I've always suspected you of being a confirmed and secret Bunburyist, and I'm quite sure of it now.
Bunburyist? What do you mean by a Bunburyist?
I'll reveal to you the meaning of that incomparable expression as soon as you are kind enough to inform me why you are Ernest in town and Jack in the country.
Well, produce my cigarette case first.
Here it is. Now, produce your explanation, and pray, make it improbable.
My dear fellow, there is nothing improbable about my explanation at all. In fact, it's perfectly ordinary. Old Mr. Thomas Cardew, who adopted me when I was a little boy, made me in his will guardian to his granddaughter, Miss Cecily Cardew. Cecily, who addresses me as her uncle out of motives of respect that you cannot possibly appreciate, lives at my place in the country under the care of her admirable governess, Miss Prism.
Where is that place in the country, by the way?
That is nothing to you, dear boy. You shall not be invited.
I suspected that, my dear fellow. Now, go on. Why are you Ernest in town and Jack in the country?
My dear Algy, when one is placed in the position of guardian, one must take a high moral tone on all subjects. It is one's duty to do so. And as a high moral tone can hardly be said to conduce very much to either one's health or one's happiness, in order to get up to town, I've always pretended to have a younger brother named Ernest who lives at the Albany and gets into the most dreadful scrapes. And that, my dear Algy, is the whole truth, pure and simple.
The truth is rarely pure and never simple. Modern life would be very tedious if it were either, and modern literature a complete impossibility.
Well, that wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing.
Literary criticism is not your forte, my dear fellow. Don't try it. You should leave that to people who haven't been at a university. They do it so well in the daily papers. What you really are is a Bunburyist. I was quite right in saying you are a Bunburyist. You are one of the most advanced Bunburyists I know.
What on earth do you mean?
You have invented a very useful younger brother called Ernest in order that you may be able to come up to town as often as you like. I have invented an invaluable permanent invalid called Bunbury in order that I may be able to go down into the country whenever I choose. Bunbury is perfectly invaluable. If it wasn't for Bunbury's extraordinary bad health, for instance, I wouldn't be able to dine with you at Willis's tonight, for I have been really engaged to Aunt Augusta for more than a week.
Well, I haven't invited you to dine with me anywhere tonight.
I know you are absurdly careless about sending out invitations. It is very foolish of you. Nothing annoys people so much as not receiving invitations.
You had much better dine with your Aunt Augusta.
I haven't the smallest intention of doing anything of the kind. Besides, now that I know you to be a confirmed Bunburyist, I naturally want to talk to you about Bunbury. I want to tell you the rules.
I'm not a Bunburyist at all. If Gwendolen accepts me, I shall kill my younger brother. Indeed, I think I shall kill him in any case. Cecily's a little too much interested in him. It is rather a bore. So, I'm going to get rid of Ernest, and I strongly advise you to do the same with with your invalid friend with the absurd name.
Nothing will induce me to part with Bunbury. And if ever you get married, which seems to me extremely problematic, you will be very glad to know Bunbury. A man who marries without knowing Bunbury has a very tedious time of it.
That is nonsense. If I marry a charming girl like Gwendolen, and she is the only girl I ever saw in my life that I would marry, I certainly won't want to know Bunbury.
Then your wife will. You don't seem to realize that in married life, 3 is company and 2 is none. Now, if I can get Aunt Augusta out of the way for 10 minutes so that you can have an opportunity for proposing to Gwendolen, may I dine with you tonight at Willis's?
I suppose so, if you want to.
Yes, but you must be serious about it. I hate people who are not serious about meals. It is so shallow of them.
Mr. Worthing, I, sir, from this semi-recumbent posture. It is most indecorous. You can take a seat, Mr. Worthing.
Thank you, Lady Bracknell.
I feel bound to tell you that you are not down on my list of eligible young men, although I've the same list as the dead Duchess of Bolton has. We work together, in fact. However, I'm quite ready to enter your name should your answers be what a really affectionate mother requires. Do you smoke?
Well, yes, I must admit I smoke.
I'm glad to hear it. A man should always have an occupation of some kind. There are far too many idle men in London as it is. How old are you?
29.
A very good age to be married at. I've always been of the opinion that a man who desires to get married should know everything or nothing. Which do you know?
I know nothing, Lady Bracknell.
I am pleased to hear it. I do not approve of anything that tampers with natural ignorance. Ignorance is like a delicate exotic fruit. Touch it and the bloom is gone. The whole theory of modern education is radically unsound. Fortunately, in England at any rate, education produces no effect whatsoever. If it did, it would prove a serious danger to the upper classes and probably lead to acts of violence in Grosvenor Square. What is your income?
Between 7,000 and 8,000 a year.
In land or in investments?
In investments, chiefly.
That is satisfactory. What between the duties expected of one during one's lifetime, the duties exacted from one after one's death, land has ceased to be either a profit or a pleasure. It gives one position and prevents one from keeping it up. That's all that can be said about land.
I have a country house with some land, of course. Attached to it about 1,500 acres, I believe. But I don't depend on that for my real income. In fact, as far as I can make out, the poachers are the only people who can make anything out of it.
A country house? How many bedrooms? Well, that point can be cleared up afterwards. You have a townhouse, I hope. A girl with a simple, unspoiled nature, like Gwendolen, could hardly be expected to reside in the country.
Well, I have a house in Belgrave Square, but is let by the year to Lady Bloxham. Of course, I can get it back whenever I'd like, at 6 months' notice.
Lady Bloxham? I don't know her.
Oh, she goes about very little. She's a lady considerably advanced in years.
Ah, nowadays that is no guarantee of respectability of character. What number Belgrave Square?
149.
The unfashionable side. I thought there was something. However, that could easily be altered.
Do you mean the fashion or the side?
Both, if necessary, I presume. What are your politics?
Well, I'm afraid I really have none.
Hmm.
I'm a loyal unionist.
Oh, they count as Tories. They dine with us. Or come in the evening, at any rate. Now, to minor matters. Are your parents living?
I have lost both my parents.
Both? To lose one parent, Mr. Worthing, may be regarded as a misfortune. To lose both looks like carelessness. Who was your father? He was evidently a man of some wealth. Was he born in what the radical papers call the purple of commerce, or did he rise from the ranks of the aristocracy?
I'm afraid I really don't know. The fact is, Lady Bracknell, I said I had lost both my parents, but it'd be nearer the truth to say that my parents seem to have lost me. I actually don't know who I am by birth. I was found.
Found?
Late Mr. Thomas Cardew, an old gentleman of a very charitable and kindly disposition, found me, and gave me the name of Worthing, because he happened to have a first-class ticket to Worthing in his pocket at the time. Worthing is a place in Sussex. It is a seaside resort.
Where did this charitable gentleman, who had a first-class ticket to this seaside resort, find you?
In a handbag.
A handbag?
Yes, Lady Bracknell, I was in a handbag. A somewhat large black leather handbag, with handles to it. An ordinary handbag, in fact.
Well, in what locality did this Mr. Thomas Cardew come across this ordinary handbag?
In the cloakroom at Victoria Station. It was given to him in mistake for his own.
The cloakroom at Victoria Station?
Yes, the Brighton line.
The line is immaterial. Mr. Worthing, I confess I feel somewhat bewildered by what you have just told me. To be born, or at any rate bred, in a handbag, whether it had handles or not, seems to me to display a contempt for the ordinary decencies of family life that remind one of the worst excesses of the French Revolution. And I presume you know what that unfortunate movement led to. As for the particular locality in which the handbag was found, a cloakroom at a railway station might serve to conceal a social indiscretion, has probably indeed been used for that purpose before now, but could hardly be regarded as an assured basis for a recognized position in good society.
May I ask you, then, what you'd advise me to do? I need hardly say I would do anything in the world to ensure Gwendolen's happiness.
I would strongly advise you, Mr. Worthing, to try and acquire some relations as soon as possible, and to make a definite effort, at any rate, to produce one parent of either sex before the season is quite over.
Well, I don't see how I could possibly manage to do that. I can produce a handbag at any moment. It is in my dressing room back home. I really think that should satisfy you, Lady Bracknell.
Me, sir? What is it to do with me? You can hardly imagine that I and Lord Bracknell would dream of allowing our only daughter, a girl brought up with the utmost care, to marry into a cloakroom and form an alliance with a parcel. Good morning, Mr. Worthing.
Good morning.
What an impetuous boy he is. Oh, I like his hair so much. I must enter his proposal in my diary.
Miss Fairfax.
Pray, let me introduce myself to you. My name is Cecily Cardew.
Cecily Cardew. What a very sweet name. Something tells me that we are going to be great friends. My first impressions of people are never wrong.
How nice of you to like me so much when you've known me such a comparatively short time. Pray sit down.
I may call you Cecily, may I not?
With pleasure.
And you will always call me Gwendolen, won't you?
If you wish.
Then that is all quite settled, is it not?
I hope so.
Perhaps this might be a favourable opportunity for my mentioning who I am. My father is Lord Bracknell. You have never heard of Papa, I suppose?
I don't think so.
Outside the family circle, Papa, I am glad to say, is entirely unknown. I think that is quite as it should be. The home seems to me to be the proper sphere for the man. And certainly, once a man begins to neglect his domestic duties, he becomes painfully effeminate, does he not? And I don't like that. It makes men so very attractive. Cecily, Mamma, whose views on education are remarkably strict, has brought me up to be extremely short-sighted. It is part of her system. So do you mind my looking at you through my glasses?
Oh, not at all, Gwendolen. I'm very fond of being looked at.
You are here on a short visit, I suppose.
Oh, no, I live here.
Really? Your mother, no doubt, or some female relative of advanced years resides here also?
No, I have no mother, nor in fact any relations.
Indeed.
My dear guardian, with the assistance of Miss Prism, has the arduous task of looking after me.
Your guardian?
Yes, I am Mr. Worthing's ward.
Oh. It is strange he never mentioned to me that he had a ward. How secretive of him. He grows more interesting hourly. I am not sure, however, that the news inspires me with feelings of unmixed delight. I am very fond of you, Cecily. I have liked you ever since I met you. But I am bound to state that now that I know that you are Mr. Worthing's ward, I cannot help expressing a wish you were, well, just a little older than you seem to be, and not quite so very alluring in appearance. In fact, if I may speak candidly.
Oh, pray do. I think that whenever one has anything candid to say, one should always be quite candid.
Well, to speak with perfect candour, Cecily, I wish you were fully 42 and more than usually plain for your age. Ernest has a very upright nature. He is the very soul of truth and honour. Disloyalty would be as impossible to him as deception. Yet even men of the noblest possible moral character are extremely susceptible to the influence of the physical charms of others. Modern, no less than ancient history supplies many most painful examples of what I refer to. If it were not so, indeed, history would be quite unreadable.
I beg your pardon, Gwendolen. Did you say Ernest?
Yes.
Oh, but it is not Mr. Ernest Worthing who is my guardian. It is his brother, his elder brother.
Ernest never mentioned to me that he had a brother.
Oh, I'm sorry to say they have not been on good terms for a long time.
Ah, that accounts for it. And now that I think of it, I have never heard any man mention his brother. The subject seems distasteful to most men. Cecily, you have lifted a load from my mind. I was growing almost anxious. It would have been terrible if any cloud had come across a friendship such as ours, would it not? Of course, you are quite sure that it is not Mr. Ernest Worthing who is your guardian?
Quite sure. In fact, I am going to be his.
I beg your pardon.
Oh, dearest Gwendolen, there's no reason why I should make a secret of it to you. Our little county newspaper is sure to chronicle the facts next week. Mr. Ernest Worthing and I are engaged to be married.
My darling Cecily, I think there must be some slight error. Mr. Ernest Worthing is engaged to me. The announcement will appear in the Morning Post on Saturday at the latest.
I am afraid you must be under some misconception. Ernest proposed to me exactly 10 minutes ago.
It is very curious, for he asked me to be his wife yesterday afternoon at 5:30. If you would care to verify the incident, pray do so. I never travel without my diary. One should always have something sensational to read in the train. I am so sorry, dear Cecily, if there's any disappointment to you, but I am afraid I have the prior claim.
Oh, it would distress me more than I can tell you. Dear Gwendolen, if it were to cause you any mental or physical anguish, but I feel bound to point out that since Ernest proposed to you, clearly he's changed his mind.
If the poor fellow has been entrapped into any foolish promise, I shall consider it my duty to rescue him at once, and with a firm hand.
Whatever unfortunate entanglement my dear boy may have gotten into, I will never reproach him with it after we are married.
Do you refer to me, Miss Cardew, as an entanglement? You are presumptuous. On an occasion of this kind, it becomes more than a moral duty to speak one's mind. It becomes a pleasure.
Do you suggest, Miss Fairfax, that I entrapped Ernest into an engagement? How dare you? This is no time for wearing a shallow mask of manners. When I see a spade, I call it a spade.
I am glad to say I have never seen a spade. It is obvious that our social circles have been widely different.
To save my poor, innocent, trusting boy from the machinations of any other girl, there are no lengths to which I would not go.
From the moment I saw you, I distrusted you. I felt that you were false and deceitful. I am never deceived in such matters. My first impressions of people are invariably right.
It seems to me, Miss Fairfax, that I am trespassing on your valuable time. No doubt you have many other calls of a similar character to make in the neighborhood.
anyone, for God's sake.
Here.
I am in such a rage.
So am I.
I wish I were on another planet.
I wish you were too.
There's no need to be nasty.
Yes, there is. Every need. I've never in my life felt a greater urge to be nasty.
And you've had some urges in your time, haven't you?
If you start bickering with me, Amanda, I swear I'll shower you with this cocktail.
Try it. That's all. Just try it.
You've upset everything, as usual.
I've upset everything. What about you?
Ever since the first moment I was unlucky enough to set my eyes on you, my life has been insupportable.
Don't be melodramatic. Shall we get roaring, screaming drunk?
I don't think that would help. We did it once before and it was a dismal failure.
It was lovely at the beginning.
You have an immoral memory, Amanda. Here's to you.
I tried to get away the moment after I'd seen you, but he wouldn't budge.
What's his name?
Victor. Victor Prynne.
Mr. and Mrs. Victor Prynne. Mines wouldn't budge either.
What's her name?
Sybil.
Mr. and Mrs. Elliot Chase. God pity the poor girl.
Do you love him?
Of course.
That's funny.
I don't see anything particularly funny about it. You're in love with yours, aren't you?
Certainly.
There you are, then.
There we both are, then. Does he know I'm here?
Yes, I told him.
That'll make things a whole lot easier.
Does Sybil know I'm here?
No, I pretended I had a presentiment. I tried terribly hard to persuade her to leave for Paris.
I tried too. It's lucky we didn't both succeed, isn't it? Otherwise, we should probably all have joined up in Rouen or somewhere.
In some frowsy little hotel.
Lovely. Oh, lovely.
Glorious!
Have you known her long?
About 4 months. We met at a house party in Norfolk.
Very flat, Norfolk.
How old is Victor?
34 or 5. And Sybil?
I blush to tell you. 23.
Oh, you have gone amok all right.
I shall reserve my opinion of your choice until I have met dear Victor.
I wish you wouldn't go on calling him Dear Victor. It's extremely irritating.
That's how I see him, Dumpy. Fair, very considerate, with glasses. Dear Victor.
I would rather not discuss him. At least I have good taste enough to refrain from making cheap jibes at Sybil.
You said Norfolk was flat.
That was no reflection on her, unless she made it flatter.
Every time you mention her name, your voice takes on an acid quality.
I'll never mention it again.
Good. I'll stay off of Victor.
Thank you.
I'm awfully sorry about all of this. Really, I am. I wouldn't have had it happen for the world.
I know. I'm sorry too. It's just rotten luck.
I'll go away tomorrow, whatever happens, so don't you worry.
That would be nice of you.
What exactly are you thinking at this moment?
Lots of things.
So am I.
What fools we were to ruin it all. What utter fools.
We were so ridiculously over in love.
And yet, here we are, starting afresh with two quite different people. In love all over again, aren't we? Aren't we?
No, we're not in love all over again, and you know it. Goodbye, Amanda.
Oh, no, don't leave. We won't talk about ourselves anymore. We'll talk about outside things. Anything you like. And only don't leave me until I've pulled myself together.
Very well.
What have you been doing these last years? You know.
Traveling about. I went around the world, after all.
Yes, I know. How was it?
The world?
Yes.
Highly enjoyable.
Oh, China must be very interesting.
Very big China.
And Japan?
Very small.
And India? The burning Ghats or Ghats or whatever they are. And the Taj Mahal. How was the Taj Mahal?
Unbelievable. A sort of dream.
That was the moonlight, I imagine. You must have seen it in the moonlight.
Yes, moonlight is cruelly deceptive.
And it didn't look like a biscuit box, did it? I've always felt that it might.
Oh, darling, I love you so. I've never loved anyone else for an instant.
No, you mustn't. Elliot, stop.
You love me too, don't you? There's no doubt about it anywhere, is there?
Oh, no doubt anywhere.
More than any desire anywhere deep down in my deepest heart, I want you back, please.
What now? Oh, darling, what now?
Escape?
Together.
Yes, of course. Come.
Oh, we can't. You know we can't.
We must.
It would break Victor's heart.
And Sybil's too, probably, but think of the hell we'd lead them into if we stayed. Infinitely worse than any cruelty in the world, pretending to love them and loving each other so desperately.
We must tell them.
That would be a moment completely devoid of inspiration. The most appalling moment imaginable. We can't. You must see it. We simply can't.
What do you propose to do then? As it is, they might appear at any moment.
We've got to decide one way or another. Go away together now, or stay with them and never see each other again, ever.
Don't be silly. What choice is there?
No choice at all. Come.
No, wait. This is sheer raving madness. Something's happened to us. We're not sane.
We never were.
Where shall we go?
Paris first. My car's in the garage already.
I've got a flat in Paris.
Good. Does Victor know?
No, he hasn't the faintest idea. He knows I have one, but he doesn't know where.
Better and better.
We're being so bad. So terribly bad. We'll suffer for this, I know we shall.
Can't be helped.
Starting all those awful rows all over again?
No, we're older and wiser now.
What difference does that make? The first moment either of us gets a bit nervy, off we'll go again.
Stop shilly-shallying, Amanda.
I won't move from here unless we have a compact. A sacred compact never to quarrel again.
Easy to make, but difficult to keep.
No, it's the bickering that always starts it. The moment we notice we're bickering, either of us, we must promise on our honor to stop dead. We'll invent some phrase or catchword, which when either of us says it, automatically cuts off all conversation for at least 5 minutes.
2 minutes with an option of renewal.
Very well. What shall it be?
Solomon Isaacs.
All right, that'll do.
Come on.
What shall we do if we meet either of them on the way downstairs?
Run like stags.
Oughtn't we to leave notes or something?
No, we'll send a telegraph from somewhere on the road. Come.
Darling, I daren't. It's too wicked of us. I simply daren't.
Now will you behave?
Yes, but Elliot, darling,
Solomon Isaacs.
Stop! Beaker, badger, you gain nothing by it. Here, I'm the master. I want some quiet.
And I repeat, sir, I am not your slave. I shall hassle till Pince behaves.
Such a life would drive a saint to the bottle. Wise Aristotle said it well when he said married life was like a living hell.
Go along with your Latin and your Aristotle.
My profound erudition, know nothing's find self-serving. In the woods, look around, and where else can you find a scavenger's sound on the nature of the mind? Who can boast on the side of 16 years of serving a scoundrel known worldwide for command of the art?
All this I know by heart.
This harpy should discourage any model thinking of marriage.
Ah, poor me! Broken down, worn away! No wonder, enslaved to you. Nothing but disaster since the fatal day I said I do.
Oh, say goodbye to song, merriment, and laughter, enslaved by you. Nothing but disaster since the fatal day I said I do.
It serves you right to suffer.
If not one thing, another.
A wastrel, an idler, a lazy bum, who eats me out of house and home.
You lie, for drink is half my diet. Your Twitter brawls, a life of riot.
Home again, it's more of the same. You should hide your head in shame, even selling our bed for liquor, so that you will not oversleep.
Bitter harvest. Someday you'll reap. The neighbors scoff at you and snicker while you gamble and squander and spend.
I have babes in arms to attend.
Put them down, dear. No need to hold them.
Poor little things, all underfed. From dawn till dusk, I take their bread.
They only cry because you told them. They cry because you sold them.
Poor me, broken down, worn away. No wonder, enslaved to you. Nothing but disaster since the fatal day I said I do.
Oh, say goodbye to song and merriment and laughter, enslaved by you. Ugh, nothing but disaster since the fatal day I said I do.
Putting right over wrong is a matter of choice.
So you're the angel, I'm the boor? Slow down, my dear, and save your voice. Ugh, the ordeal I daily endure from your indecent and dissolute ways.
Expected of wives nowadays.
Your testy temper takes a toll. I'll stomach no more of your nagging. I've an able arm and a hand.
Of her brawn the bully is bragging.
Or a stick that's ready to land.
My tongue she's attempting to tame.
Oh, sweet, you leave no other recourse. Sick and tired of playing a game, you force me to answer with force.
How manly.
I've given you warning.
Mr. Big!
I'm taking a stand.
You sot!
This I will not stand.
Show me! Take a swat, you good-for-nothing pig!
Seek and ye shall find. Dearest heart, dearest treasure, get set. Here we go. Otherwise inclined, how can I say no? Dear, although reluctant, duty now compels me. Observation tells me battle has begun.
When the lightning flashes, when the temper rages, we husbands through the ages do what must be done.
We wives through the ages do what we must do. battle lines are drawn. Now to see it through. We are at war, here to decide slavery or honor and pride.
My castle till the end I shall defend.
Hast thou the flower there? Welcome, wanderer.
Aye. There it is.
I pray thee, give it me. I know a place where the wild thyme blows, where oxlips and the Naldine violets grows, quite over-canopied with luscious woodbine, with sweet musk roses and with eglantine. There sleeps Titania sometime in the night, loath in these flowers with dances and delight. And there the snake throws her enameled skin, weed wide enough to wrap a fairy in. And with the juice of this, I'll streak her eyes and make her full of hateful fantasies. Take thou some of it and seek through this grove. A sweet Athenian lady is in love with a disdainful youth. Anoint his eyes, but do it when the next thing he espies may be the lady. And thou shalt know the man by the Athenian garment he wears, affected with some care that he might prove more fond of her than she upon her true love. Look to meet me ere first cock crow.
Fear not, my lord, your servant shall do so.
I wonder if Titania be awake. Then what it was that next came her eye, which she must dote on in extremity. Here comes my messenger. How now, mad spirit? What's now about this haunted grove?
My mistress with a monster is in love! Near to her close and consecrated bower, while she was in her dull and sleeping hour, a crew of patches, rude mechanicals that work for bread upon Athenian stalls, were met together to rehearse a play intended for great Theseus' nuptial day. The shallowest thick-skin of that barren sort, who Pyramus presented in their sport, forsook his scene and entered in a break, when I did him at disadvantage take, an ass's knoll I fix it on his head. Anon, his Thisbe must be answered, and forth my mimic comes, when they him spy, as wild geese that the creeping fowler eye, or russet-pated choughs, many in sort, rising and cawing at the gun's report, sever themselves and madly sweep the sky. So at his sight, away his fellows fly, and at our stamp, here o'er and o'er one falls. He murder cries, and help from Athens calls. Their sense, thus weak, lost with fears thus strong, made senseless things begin to do them wrong. For briars and thorns at their apparel snatch, some sleeves, some hats, from yielders all things catch. I led them on in this distracted fear and left sweet Pyramus translated there. When in that moment, so it came to pass, Titania waked and straightway loved an ass!
This falls out better than I could devise. But hast thou yet latched the Athenian's eyes, as I bid thee do?
I took him sleeping. That is finished too. And the Athenian woman by his side, that when he waked, of force she must be eyed.
Stand close. This is the same Athenian?
This is the woman, but not this the man.
What hast thou done? Thou hast mistaken quite, and laid the love juice on true love's sight. Of thy misprison must perforce ensue some true love's turned, and false not turned true.
Then fate o'errules. For one man holding truth, a million fail, confounding oath on oath.
About the wood go swifter than the wind, and Helena of Athens look thou fine. All fancy sick she is, and pale of cheer, with sighs of love that cost the fresh blood steer. By some illusion, see thou bring her here, I'll charm his eyes against she do appear.
I go. Look how I go, swifter than arrow from the Tartar's bow.
Flower of this purple dye, hit with Cupid's archery, sink in apple of his eye. When his love he does espy, let her shine as gloriously as the Venus in the sky. And when thou wakest, if she be by, beg of her for remedy.
Captain of our fairy band, Helena is here at hand. And the youth, mistook by me, pleading for a lover's fee, shall we their fond pageant see? Lord, what fools these mortals be! Woo!
Come apace, good Audrey. I will fetch up your goats, Audrey. And how, Audrey? Am I the man yet? Doth my simple feature content you?
Your features? Lord, warrant us. What features?
Well, I am here with thee and thy goats, as the most capricious poet honest Ovid was amongst the Goths. When a man's verses cannot be understood, nor is good wit seconded by the forward child understanding, it strikes a man more dead than a great reckoning in little room. Truly, I would the gods had made thee poetical.
I do not know what poetical is. Honest, deed, and word? Is it a true thing?
No, truly. For the truest poetry is the most feigning, and lovers are given to poetry, and what they swear in poetry may be said as lovers they do feign.
Do you wish then that the gods had made me poetical?
I do, truly. For thou swearest to me thou art honest. Now, if thou wert a poet, I might have some hope thou didst feign.
Would you not have me honest?
No, truly. Unless thou wert hard favored, for honesty coupled to beauty is to have honey a sauce to sugar.
Well, I'm not fair, and therefore I pray the gods make me honest.
Truly? To cast away honesty upon a foul slut were to put good meat into an unclean dish.
I'm not a slut, though I thank the gods I am foul.
Oh, praise be to the gods to thy foulness. That sluttiness may come hereafter. But be it as it may be, I will marry thee. And to that end, I have been with the guru of the next village, and he hath promised to meet me in this Zoom and to couple us.
Well, the gods give us joy.
Amen! Yeah. A man may, if he were of a fearful heart, stagger in this attempt, for here we have no temple but the Zoom, and no assembly but horned beasts.
But what though? Oh, courage! As horns are odious, they are necessary. It is said that many a man knows no ends of his goods.
Right! Many a man has good horns and knows no end of them. Horns? Even so. Poor men alone? No, no. The noblest deer hath them as huge as the rascal. Is the single man therefore blessed? No. As a walled town is more worthier than a village, by so much is a horn more precious than to want. Oh!
You win. But now I must confide in you. I'm in love with a noble gamer lady. I can have you write something to her in a short note that I will drop in her feed.
Very well.
Won't that be an elegant gesture?
Yeah. Is it verse you wish to write her?
No, no verse.
Oh, you only want prose?
No, I don't want prose or verse.
Oh, well, it must necessarily be one or the other.
Why?
Because, sir, we only have prose or verse to express ourselves.
We have only prose or verse?
Yes, sir. Anything that's not prose is verse, and anything that's not verse is prose.
And when one speaks, what is that then?
Prose.
What? When I say, Master, give me my shield and bring me a potion, that's prose?
Yes, sir.
Goodness! I have been speaking prose for over 14 years without being aware of it. And I am deeply obliged to you for having taught me that. So, I would like to say in a note to her, beautiful Marquis 143, Your lovely eyes make me die of love. But I want that expressed elegantly, prettily.
Write that the fires of her eyes reduce your heart to ashes. That you suffer night and day for her, the torments of
No, 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 no. I want none of that. I want only the words I told you. Beautiful Marquis 143. Your lovely eyes make me die of love.
It should be a little lengthier.
No, I tell you, I want only those words in the note, but expressed stylishly, elegantly arranged. Please tell me, just to see the different ways one could put them.
Oh, well, one could put them, first of all, as you said it. Beautiful Marquis 143, your lovely eyes make me die of love. Or else, of love to die make me, beautiful Marquis, your lovely eyes. Or else, your lovely eyes of love make me, beautiful Marquis, die, die, die. Or else, die, your lovely eyes, beautiful Marquis, of love make me. Or else, you make my lovely eyes die, beautiful Marquis of love.
But of all of the ways of saying it, what is the best?
The way you said it. Beautiful Marquis 143, your lovely eyes make me die of love.
I never studied! And yet, I made the whole thing up the first try. I thank you with all my heart. Let us play early again tomorrow.
Well, I will certainly do so.
Ladies and gentlemen, the upcoming commedia will be the final scene. They just need a couple of minutes to get set up as it involves everyone. Please stay tuned. It's only about 8 minutes long, so they say. And hang in there. We're bringing it home. Thanks for waiting. We're almost ready.
I'm Arla Kino for Studio Network News, joining you with exclusive live coverage of the biggest Zoom wedding of 2020. Being trapped in their own personal bunkers didn't stop B. Gooder and Satana McBad from finding love. But can these fabulous femmes unite their famously feuding families? This broadcast brought to you in part by Bidet Today. No TP? No problem with Bidet Today. Because nothing says good morning like an ice-cold stream of water up your bum like a steel rod.
"2020 has been a wonderful year for evil, hasn't it, Pierre? Especially for the McBad family. We're rich! And now, to cap off the year, I must ruin my daughter's wedding. I have already started by buying everyone gift cards to TJ Maxx. Also, I have paid for the entire wedding. And finally, we will get bottles of champagne sent to every guest at the wedding.
Dad? I know that laugh. What are you plotting? Ugh, this is supposed to be the worst, best day of my life. Don't fuck this up for me. Pierre? I'm looking at you.
Pierre, get those bottles of Dawn Perignon sent to all the guests. Quickly, for if it were done, when 'tis done, 'twere well it were done. Quickly! Yes!
Jeeves! Daughter, how are you, darling?
Oh, I'm so excited, Daddy!
Oh, after such a terrible year 2020 has brought to us and ruining our finances, this wedding must go off without a hitch. With so many followers via live stream, that is, this is a great opportunity for me to promote my love juice, the juice that makes you go, "Rrrr."
Daddy! I told you, I don't want to spread your love juice all over my wedding guests on my wedding day.
We must! Jeeves, see to it that everyone has my love juice. I have to go, darling. Ta-ta!
Jeeves, Jeeves, do not leave this room, Jeeves. Jeeves, I don't... Jeeves! Ah, Jeeves!
Jeeves? Pierre? Is it love juice?
Maybe. Is that champagne?
Maybe.
Love mosas?
Love mosas!
Let's see how our brides are doing. Brought to you by Zoom. Zoom. This is your life now.
Oh, gorgeous. You are looking so wonderful right now. Only 1 hour until the ceremony. Oh my brides. Oh my brides. You are looking so gorgeous. 1 hour before the ceremony. Updates. The officiant no-showed. But no worries. Wanda, numberless service at your call. For only $560, I will throw in efficient fees. All right. Oh, and because it's on Zoom, an extra 10% off. How about that?
Only 10%. Darling, Baddie Bad, how are you feeling? Are you okay?
You know, just like I'm about to throw up.
So normal.
Yes. Did I hear her? She said we only have 1 hour before our ceremony?
Yes.
I gotta go get drunk.
Oh, wait, where'd you get that champagne?
It's actually a Love Mosa. I got it from some guy named Jeeves.
No, don't drink that! Oh, jeez! I am going to kill you!
The guests are beginning to gather for the wedding event of 2020, brought to you by the Nap Dress Company. The Nap Dress, perfect for a wedding or a bedding. Who writes this copy?
Who are you?
Oh, Wanda, wedding consultant and new officiant. Your daughter said you could pay me.
Yeah, about that. I'm a little broke now, but I have this love juice that will be worth a fortune after the nuptials. See to it that my servant Jeeves gives you some. This guy here.
Sorry, was someone speaking broke? I don't understand that language.
You know what? Jeeves, did you...
Pierre, did you do what I told you? Pierre?
Bro.
Zoom always messes up at the worst times.
Back to you. I don't want to hear such rubbish for someone that has a low social media profile. Until you get at least 10 followers, that's when you can speak to me.
Who are you?
Oh, Wanda, wedding consultant, new officiant. Your daughter said that you could pay me.
Oh, so you haven't been paid yet?
No.
Okay, well, what do you take? PayPal, Western Union, Zelle?
Oh, Venmo, Cash App, Hell to Pay.
Pangea, Tap Send, Money Transfer India?
I take them all.
Everything has gone wrong.
But not everything is lost. This is great, Love Mosa. I love you so much.
Oh, very bad. Oh, Jeeves.
It's the moment you've all been waiting for. The Good or McBad ceremony is about to begin. Brought to you by Home Depot's 12-foot-tall skeleton, because your front yard may as well reflect how you feel on the inside.
Oh, look at all these beautiful people I see today before me. Oh, look at all these beautiful people I see before me today. We are gathered here to drink Love Mosas. Hey! Doesn't that love feel good just right down the pipe? Oh, no. We are gathered here today to witness as these two beautiful brides tread with steady steps towards the place of slaughter. Oh, no, I mean matrimony. Brides, where are you? Oh, Satana and B. B, do you take Satana to be your woefully wedded wife?
Forever and ever.
Oh, and Satana, do you take B to be your wonderfully wedded wife?
I do! B, I've always loved you! Jeeves, I've always loved you!
Oh, I've always loved B!
Everyone, I paid for the entire wedding! And I feel good about it. No!
Oh, this turns out better than I could devise. My love juice is on the rise.
Oh, Daddy! Mother!
Well, that was a shit show of a wedding. Thanks, 2020. Fortunately, this Love Mosa is delicious. Oh!
Wow! That did turn out better than anyone could have devised. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Please shower these people with texts and emails, letting them know how well they did since we're not in person. This was a spectacular night, you guys. Everybody unhide and come out and wave. And you guys, let's congratulate everyone on not only completing comedy, but the entire core curriculum of the Studio Acting Conservatory. Woohoo!
Maybe I should leave the bat.
Lamb chops, Hamilton!
Lamb chop!
Thank you all for watching. See you on the other side.
Buy it now.